Everyone ready? Okay. Everyone's ready. So, Jovie, what do we got?
Yes.
What do we got?
So today, my body's chilling. We have a special guest and a special, very special guest here in Enough Said. Why did I stutter like I didn't know what our radio station was? Enough Said Radio Studio. And we'd like to announce that she is also she is part of our team. She's going to be one of the nosy aunties here, bringing the tea and team. I just made that up. I know it's corny, but you know.
It works.
But we have Mz.Marvelstorm 110 in the building with us. Hello, Miss Marvelstorm.
Hey, what's goody? Hey, fam. Hey, how we doing? How we doing? Gosh, I'm so excited to be with you guys. So excited to be a part of this whole movement, Enough Said Radio. I appreciate it, and I hope that we don't get too crazy tonight. But we will. But I hope we don't get too crazy for you. But we will.
We'll get crazy.
So I want to work on making as much content and reaching out to as many people, because I feel like I'm really excited just to talk to everybody and get to know them, see what their talents are, see what their stories are. And so I've been, planning on doing a lot of content over this weekend, a lot of mini contents on Instagram. Yes, enough said.
Yeah, that's enough said.
I'm sorry.
Picatures, that's my safe word, y'all.
I didn't realize what that would do. I was like trying to do it just for the video, Anyway.
Okay.
Moving along. I want to kind of quickly explain how and why Mz.Marvelstorm is part of the ESR team, ESR family. So it might have been like over a month ago, maybe, and you correct me if I'm wrong at the time, because as soon as
not good at math.
It might have been a month ago, because I heard you and maybe a talk or something, and I was just like, Jovie, who is this girl? Have you heard Mz.Marvelstorm? Like, I love her voice. I love the way she talks. And, you're just spreading positivity. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this girl. Who is she? And I never reached out because I was nervous, for one. I'm always nervous for some reason. For every little thing I do or we do over here, I'm always nervous. And then Jovie and I have been talking about Mz.Marvelstorm. We're like, yeah, okay, she responded to a talk. Oh my gosh, she did a talk. Oh, she sounds so great. Oh my gosh, I love it. But I still never reached out. And I was telling Jovie, we need to interview her or something. Guys, there was no interviews done. I was like, I just want
I'm kidnapping y'all. I'm gonna kidnap her.
So yeah, that's what happened. And then all of a sudden, Mz.Marvelstorm reached out to Jovie, or vice versa, and they communicated, and Jovie was like, hey, Mz.Marvelstorm wants to collab with us or something. Well, at first she was like, she wants to collab, and I was like, with me too.
I was in my talks doing my thing, and I started posting more stuff, and then I heard Mz.Marvelstorm, because Tree had said this. Have you seen it? I was like, I mean, I've seen her, but I haven't seen it, I haven't gotten her thing. And she started replying, and it was legit. And I was like, at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting there thinking, here we go, another troll. Because all I saw were back to back audio files.
Fucking her.
And I was like, oh, here we go. Someone just acting stupid, saying nonsense or something like that. And I pressed play, and I was like, okay, it's actually we're having a conversation, you're replying, you're actually conversating, and you're actually comprehending and understanding and actually listening to what I put out in audio. Because some people don't do that. They just look at the picture and reply, and you're like, sir, did you listen to the audio, or are you just looking at the picture? Because sometimes the 2 and 2s, it could be 2 different subjects. But yeah, I just like what she was saying. She had a positive message behind her, everything that I put out there, and it was just relatable. I was like, I like her. And then she said something about like, I just want to be on here and collab with creators and create great things with people. I was like, cool. You know what? Say less. So I hopped in. I replied with an audio message, and I said, hey, collaboration? I was like, hey girl, hey, collaboration? ? And she said, yes. I was like, you know what? Let me send a message. I don't know who messaged who first, but we were just conversating about something else. And I was like, you know what? Are you down to collaboration? You're like, yes, I'm down, whatever. I was like, okay. I was like, what about, what the Enough Said Radio, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, hell yeah. Like, the more, the merrier. Let's do this. And I messaged Tree. I said, what are your thoughts? I just messaged Mz.Marvelstorm, and she said she's down. And she was like, oh my God, yes. What? She did? Okay. And she was like, well, wait, did you know there's 2 of us? I said, yes. She knows there's 2 of us. And she's like, yes. Okay, when can she? Tree was super excited.
I was.
And then the rest was history. And then I don't know if we video chatted to kind of make everything concrete and just kind of discuss it with her.
Yeah.
But before that, she was like, okay, can we just make her permanent? I'm like, I guess. We haven't video chatted, but I don't even know.
Yeah, we haven't even done like a video chat or interview or anything. I was just like, she's on, because just because if there was anything wrong, we'll deal with it later. But
right.
I really love you.
I'm not gonna lie, like when I first was listening to Jovie with her beach sounds and her waves and her jazzy tone, and I was like, yes, this girl's giving me Lauryn Hill. And then I was like, Tree is just so bubbly and energetic, and Energizer Bunny keeps going and going, and I was like, yes, let's keep going and going together. And I love their voices. I love their voices, and I love their style. I love their energy. There's a lot of streamers who have good vibes and good energy, so I appreciate even just being a little bit put in that category. You guys are like so dope, like so addicted, like to what y'all do.
And I was like, she has to be from New York or New Jersey, because
I didn't think I didn't know.
I automatically caught that. The way
because she's from Baltimore, she knows that.
Yeah.
Like Baltimore knows.
And I have friends in New Jersey, like North Bergen and all that. So I've been there, so I just know like you can just hear it, and you're just like, okay. And then certain like slang or certain terms people use, you can like, okay, they're either from here or somewhere,
right?
Some in this vicinity. Yeah.
How did you discover Spoon?
Girls, it was just taking y'all back to Gary Vaynerchuk again. If y'all don't know, y'all know I'm obsessed with this man. He was talking about finding a podcasting platform, and I was like, a podcast? How do you do a podcast? And they talked about WordPress, and I was like, I don't know about WordPress. Wait.
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was like, what?
Tree, for those that don't know, we're actually on video too. So like while we're doing this, and sometimes Tree like is in her own world, kind of like navigate, because Tree got a lot going on.
I got a lot going on my end, so I'm trying to.
So she's in her own space. But sorry to cut you. Go ahead, Mrs. Marvel.
Well, listen. When I found Spoon, it was just me looking for an app that I can do podcasting on. And originally I was like, I don't think I can do this. Because I've seen Tree before. Like, I seen her and I saw, look at this teddy bear face. And I was like, oh, she's cute. But I was like, I'm not about to go and try to compete with these people. So I really didn't do talks or anything like that at first. And then I was like, this is kind of cool. And after a while, I started playing with it. And I just was like, yeah, I see what I could do with this.
But before all that, like, so I like with Spoon and everything, were you creating like content before Spoon? Like, were you on other platforms and stuff? Okay.
Oh yeah, I got on other platforms. I originally started a first podcast episode. I'm not gonna say it was a podcast; it was just an episode because I was really nervous. And I called it "This Is My Happy," and I really was just talking about things I was happy about, but also things I wanted to do. But I felt like it really wasn't everything I needed it to be. So I wound up making another podcast, and I called it .2.2 FM Walls Talking Podcast, and it was just based on me having a fake radio station as a kid, and I wanted to do something where I could talk about myself growing as a person, and I wanted my son and my daughter to be included, and it was kind of some vlogs and just favorite music and all that good stuff, and I started creating other content, YouTubes and all that good stuff, and I just really wanted to like get out there in the stratosphere, y'all. Just wanted to launch rockets.
You also have books that are published, correct?
I have one book that is published. It started originally with just a blog, and then people kept saying, "Look, you writing a little bit too much, for this just to be one blog. You need to go ahead and put that in a book, wrap that up." And then I just decided to go ahead and put it in a book. So I made a little bookity book. Little bookity book.
Then to backtrack, so where did this name Mz.Marvelstorm 110 come from?
Okay, see, first of all, it was the toy of Justice Shari, but Mz.Marvelstorm 110 came from two superheroes, Ms. Marvel. So I was watching the show Ms. Marvel, and she is a Muslim superhero. I am Muslim. I am from New Jersey, and she does podcasting. And I just resonated with her, and being a person of color, I just resonated with that. And so I felt like, ooh, I am marvelous anyway, so let's go ahead and do that. And then Storm is one of my favorite female superheroes. I mean, let's be real, Storm is fabulous, darling. And she rocks white hair like no other, except for Betty White. That's the only other one I can say rocks that white hair. But I thought that was dope. And then the number 110, that was where I grew up. And I looked up what the number 110 means, and it means growth, new beginnings, and creativity. And because I was adopted, technically it does mean a new beginning. And every time I see the number 110, I see it a trillion times. It's always when something new is about to happen. So I put that together, and I wanted to become the superhero that could protect all the pain and the hurt from the past, but be strong enough to help others as well. So there goes Mz.Marvelstorm 110.
That's actually a really strong.
Yeah, that's like a legit foundation, because I would have been like, I don't know, I just like the Marvel.
You want to know?
And then Ms. because I'm a teacher, y'all, and I want y'all to remember that.
Don't forget the Ms. But esradio1020@gmail.com. You know what the 1020 is?
Yes.
Our 1020 is like our birthdays. Mine is Jovie's birthday. Anyway.
I love the number 10. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not our birthday.
It's not.
It's our mother. I don't even know.
She was like, look, I was going to roll with it because I was Latree. I said nowhere in there. My birthday is, for anybody who wants to know, my birthday is March 26th. So nowhere in there has the number 3. It has a 2, but doesn't have a 6.
No. What it is, I remember what it is now. See? What it is.
What it is
right now.
What it is right now. Hey! Music break.
It is so dumb because okay, 10. Okay, the letter T is number 10 on the alphabet.
She nominated numbers and letters.
No teacher.
Oh my God, yo.
I don't even know, something like that. Or no, J. See, I don't even know. J is number 10.
Okay, we're gonna rewind and act like that segment never happened. Tree was trying to get deep.
She was, y'all.
She said, "Hey guys, you know what 100 is? She said it's our birthdays.
I'm so dead.
Oh,
it is.
you got J.
There you go.
Savvy says, what do you teach?
Well, I'm a substitute teacher and I'm an art teacher at the Boys and Girls Club. The substitute teacher teaches everything. I do not teach gym because of choice. But you know, choices, you know, because some of them kids, I love them so much, but the smells, they be very real for me. I've been in there when I had to go and drop my babies off and won't do it again.
What is one of the hardest things you find when you are working with kids?
The emotions that get tied in is a beautiful thing. And sometimes you know their stories, you know what they're going through. And sometimes it's hard, like when you're trying to get through to the students and discipline them, but you know what they're going through. You know that their mom may have said this or their dad may have said that, or they may not have mom and dad. It's hard to just walk away at the end of the day and take that work away. You know what I'm saying? It comes with you. I've had many moments where I've cried, you know, at home about a student. You know, when I left the Boys and Girls Club the first time before I came back, 6 months, y'all. 6 months of crying. Even with me being a substitute, it's not the same, you know, and it's not the same when you have to leave a class or a student. Even when a student goes to a different grade and you're not to be around them, the emotions get tied. They become like family. And so I feel like that's the hardest part, you know, but then again, I'm clingy though. You know, I did stalk Jovie for a long time, you know, with them talk. So, you know.
I appreciate it because we're having conversations, but I appreciated that.
Yes.
We gonna be friends forever. Y'all ain't never gonna leave.
We got a couple questions here for you from Zane. What is one thing that you have always wanted to do, but you have never done it and really, really want to?
One thing that I've wanted to do. I definitely wanted to go to Paris and just make art. Like just make art. Because I know that a lot of artists have, you know, like Van Gogh, like a lot, Picasso, they have gone to France, Parlez-vous Français, and have studied, you know, a lot of just other art or artists, or just the scenery, and just was like, yes, this is it. This is it. I definitely want to do that. I feel like everything else I could accomplish immediately or over time, but that one is a big one. Because, you know, it's France, you know.
Did you focus more on like painting? Like what would you like drawing and stuff?
Everything. I love creating. To me, it's like giving birth. You know, the best way, it's you know, it's not better than having my kids, but it's definitely something that gives life, and somebody could take your content, your picture, your art, and it may change their life. Mm-hmm. It may change their life. And I just want to be able to help people. You know, I just want to be able to be a good doer. And I just, you know, that's what it is.
Yeah. So Savvy says in the chat he likes abstract art. Is there any specific art if you had to say your top tier, if you had to pick one, you can't have all of them, but you had to pick one, what would that be?
I probably would say graffiti, because to me it could be anything. Graffiti could be all those things wrapped in one, but it's very urban and it speaks to a certain culture and it gives voices to people who are very limited in their ability to have voice. So yeah, I definitely say graffiti. And people might not put that in an art category, but baby, it is in the category.
It's definitely art. If you've seen some pieces, it's like a whole, especially like murals and see that you see, like especially in city, urban environments and stuff like that. Definitely. And
she said environments.
It's environments. I was trying to be, you know, but you know what I mean.
So, back to Mz.Marvelstorm. What?
Girl, you look like you having
guys, I'm telling you.
Ninja!
This is killing me. I'm I'm gonna change. I should change.
You should go ahead and change.
Yeah.
But before that,
Wardrobe check.
Yeah.
wardrobe check, yes. But before I change, now I forgot what question I was gonna ask you. Oh, yes, okay. So since you are now part of the ESR family, what is
We should go like this.
Oh my goodness.
Is there something? Well, see, at least you can do that. At least you can do that. So, is there something that you are kind of hesitant about, or want to know more about ESR, or something you're looking forward to? I know we've already discussed a lot of projects that are coming up and a lot of announcements. We've filled you in on what those are here in the next few days or weeks, because we're waiting on things to get to you. So, yeah, do you have... And then I'm going to wardrobe change while you answer that question.
I'm just really excited. Just to act a fool with you guys and make content, get to know people. When I first, was approached by you guys, I was scared because I was like, man, like I don't know if they're gonna like me. I don't know if the people are gonna like me. I don't know if Tree and Jovie are gonna like me. I was really nervous, and I'm just excited because I know that this is a time to grow things, and to meet new people and to just have creating content with people who love adult. That's what's up. I like that.
Do you have any advice to any content creators that are out there right now on Spoon that for some reason they're hesitant, or they're like, what, I don't think I can make this, or I don't think I have the motivation to do this, or just kind of making excuses for things because they're afraid to just do it, in a sense? Do you have any advice for those people?
Nike, just do it. You have a voice, you have a story, you have something that everybody around needs to hear. You want to know why? Because someday you're going to do something that relates to Bob, Sally, Leah, and someday you're going to do something that relates to Shakim and Lisa. You need to tell your story as much as possible and give people the opportunity to relate to you by being yourself. Don't be anyone else. And don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to go out there and spread your voice. I've had moments where I was scared to say my voice and speak my piece and be myself and say that I do like Nickelback. But you know what? There are people who are going to like it. There are people who are not going to like it. But at the end of the day, you keep telling your story, and eventually you'll redeem yourself by saying you like Popeyes. Love that chicken. But yeah, just be yourself. Keep going and going and going. You cannot give up on your dream. If this is a dream of yours, keep going. Keep going.
Exactly. There's a lot of things that's going on behind the scenes here in ESR. And I think we've been talking almost every single day now.
Yeah, and literally all hours. We talked for 3 or 4 hours the past 2 to 3 days, and that doesn't stop because we're constantly texting each other. If we come up with something, or we're like, hey, this idea, I need to text it to you, or hey, check this out, check this video, or hey, you know what, I'm having issues with this. Oh, maybe check this out. Oh, hey, I know how to do this. So, on a serious note, I know we were on here, we joke a lot. That's just our personality. But we're really trying to kind of step up the content creating, specifically on this platform as well, to the next level. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. It's all trial and error. We appreciate everybody that's riding this, that's on this journey with us. But it's exciting. We have a lot of things coming. And I know we keep saying this, and you're like, well, what is it? Just stay tuned. While we're here with Mz.Marvelstorm, getting to know her a little bit with the whole content creating thing, what are some goals that you have right now for this year? Not only here as far as part of ESR, but just as an individual that you're working on outside of, this ESR, or maybe outside of social media, or within social media.
I have been working on my digital artwork, so I'm going to make some. I do want to make a few pieces of art that I can turn into stickers and maybe sell on Etsy. I am starting on a second book. That one is one I want to actually have a hardcover version of it. Making more episodes on different. Definitely always collabing, working on my health journey. That's definitely priority on my list. Definitely priority on my list. Definitely getting to know Tree and Jovie more and more. Because you might not think it's very, but just having people who are not just creative. Outside of enough said, we talk like we've been in high school together. I never went to the same high school as you, but I feel like 3-4 hours on the phone, there's got to be something. 3-4 hour video chats. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm dating a Hawaiian and a Filipino woman at the same time. Hey, and honestly, it's just dope. You guys saw my son come in, you saw my daughter come in, you've heard Henry crack some jokes, and I've seen your husband, and I've seen Jovie talk cash crap, just be talking, making it smack. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard about her day and her career, and it's just important for me because I love that I have 2 ladies. I don't know why I said 3. See, now I can't count now. I told you I'm a good math. But now I have 2 ladies that I can vent about my job and vent about my hopes and dreams. So I definitely want to grow with y'all and meet more people and learn their stories. Definitely.
I wanted to kind of tap in, and if you're okay with talking about it, it's something serious, but some people aren't comfortable talking about their family. They just want to talk about themselves. What does a typical day look like for you? Because obviously you're working, you're content creating, you're a mother, you're doing all these things. How do you balance that? Because sometimes some people don't know how to balance it. So how does your day look? A daily life of Mz.Marvelstorm 110.
It just really depends. If I take the day to sub, then because I try. When originally it was get up and when the gig is available or when they tell us ahead of time, I'll just sub, But now with me working and now really wanting to have time with my son, my son is in high school, but he does online classes, and I want to make sure I'm on top of his grades. Basically, I pick 2 days that I'm gonna sub, and then I do content before I go to work. I'll go to work and I might draw something on breaks or something like that, or I might make some content on break, bring it with me, because I'm always looking for something to do, and then days where I'm just going to the Boys and Girls Club, I'll probably make a bunch of content, draw some, maybe make some podcasts, spend some time giggling with my son, maybe cook some food, so that way when I come home, my son will cook something, and then I don't have to something for the rest of the day. And then we go to the Boys and Girls Club because when I started this job, I said everything I would do, I want my kids to be included. Before I even started this job, for the last few years, because it was really hard being a mom and then making sure I have somebody to watch my kids. And I said, no more of that stress. And that's one of the benefits of being a substitute in the Boys and Girls Club. And so my son goes with me, and he got a job there. He's starting this year. They're gonna do him as a student worker, and he also has a mentorship. I told him, you be in a job where you can be involved with the community. And so he goes there. He talks to kids. And I'm there talking and playing around. She does ballet at the Boys and Girls Club, and she does clay making. My son does that too. And then, yeah, and then I'll go in the classroom with my kids in the art room in the Boys and Girls Club, and they just give me hugs and loves and germs. Okay, but it's beautiful. I get to talk to my coworkers and ask questions, see what's going on with them. I also get to create, little arts and crafts projects with kids, and it's fun. And I come home. I spend time with my spouse. I try to take a few days to myself, but then I might create content while I'm sitting in the bed with him. Not that hard to do it on the iPad. Yeah. But lately, I've been up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So
your husband seems so supportive of what you're doing. I know we did see him, and he was just like, "You do your thing," and he jokes with you, and he's just so relaxed. It's like, my wife does her thing. She's happy, and that's really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great person. It wasn't always like that. When I was younger, stupid. I was so jealous, and I felt like, I needed all this time, but that's because I didn't know how to love me first and get myself together, and I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know that I needed to go back into go back into myself, and then it wasn't going back to finding, going back into being creative, going back into that I found me. But for years, he has told me, you need to write a book. He's the one who bought this microphone. To me, this is expensive. Spending $100 in church $1 expensive to me. Yes, he was the one who bought me extra art supplies, and he was the one who told me to post my art on Instagram, and he was the one who said, "Yo, don't you need to get up and go do a podcast?" But that was only because I was getting on his nerves.
He's come somewhere.
Nerves. Go ahead and make that content that you said you need to make. Go ahead and do that. Like, I'm trying to play this game.
Now you make me think, because my husband is the same. He's like, "I support you, I support." Now you made me think. I'm like, is he good? He's just like, okay,
trying to get you to go ahead and play that game. Yes. I want to watch the game by myself.
Leave me alone.
You gotta do.
Yeah, I got a second thought on that, Chris.
But it's not just. You might have to, yeah. But that's a good thing though, because couples need to have their own space. He is a person who fishes a lot, and I told him he started his YouTube video for fishing. But he loves fishing. He loves playing video games. He loves, the wilderness and hunting. And he'll go and spend time. And now he's got doing that. She likes doing that. My son is like, I'll do the video games. I'll do the art, the podcasting and everything. Now my daughter, she's like, I'll do fishing. I'll do podcasting. I'll do ballet. She just dib dabs. At first she'll be like, no. And then I love it. Don't tell her I said that. Don't tell her, because then in person she'll be like, no, Mom, no.
She'll give the side eye.
Right.
Yeah, y'all saw the side eye? Remember when I tried to get?
I saw it.
She's like, no, we're not about to do that. It's like, okay, but she is literally the sweetest person. She always gives me hugs. Always, and then she's always in the room with me when she's sick. She's always wanting to spend time with me. She's always, but she's getting to be how we were when we were preteen. We didn't want the nicknames in public and friends. I said, "Do you want to start calling you nicknames?" She's like, "No, some of them, just some of them, just a little bit of them." She goofy like me, so it's up, yeah. It's a skinny mini me. But I mean, it's beautiful. We do have our crazy moments. We had a lot of trials and tribulations to get through as a family. I had a lot of mental health issues, moments where I needed to get myself together and I needed to work on me. And sometimes he didn't even know what to do. And I had to figure myself out. And there were moments where he was just like, "Baby, come on, and I'll console you with, shh." But I mean, it's beautiful because as a kid, I always wanted that type of family. I always wanted the Hawk family, and as an adult, I got that. It may be not traditional. It may be bootleg. My family is definitely bootleg, but I don't need to be your family because I love my family. You know what I'm saying?
Love that. Yep. So as you tell your story, we actually have a lot. We have a lot in common, and then even with our husbands, Sorry, Jovie. No, she's still single.
No, because I'm selfish, so we're just out here.
I don't think you're selfish. Let me tell you
Get up
something.
and
girl.
go.
But, Chris loves to play video games. He doesn't fish, but he likes to do airsoft. So he has his own hobbies as well. And yeah, I totally agree. And if you can work together as a couple, this is your time for your needed space, and this is what I want to do. You don't have to do it with me, and you communicate that. That's totally fine. Because I see couples that are just like, oh, he's doing it again. He hasn't spent time with her, or she's doing it all the time. And I'm like, well, maybe you're not giving each other time when it's needed too. Like you have to think about that person, that they need that time. Don't just, oh, I need to do my video games. Anyway, communicate that. Find that time together. Don't just, they have to understand this is your passion, this is what you want to do. Okay, but you've got to give them time too.
Yes.
Gotta give them a creative space too, I feel like.
Exactly. I mean, this man gets up at 4:30. He goes, that is an hour away. He works 10 hours. He comes back. He picks me up from work, and he's just like, always doing family stuff. Like, we don't have a traditional family because there's so many other things that we do that are not the same that I would definitely get into. You know what I'm saying? But I feel the reason why we do them that way is because it works for us.
Yeah.
Like, it just works for us. And it's also because you gotta realize that some people don't think this, but 30 is still young, 40 is still young.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff that you think that you should know by the time you're 5 or 45 that you don't know. You just don't know.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? 25 is still very young.
Yes.
And people think, oh, I'm 25, my brain is mature. But you don't know. You don't know, and you have to really be at the same place in life to do certain moves in life. Period. You know what I'm saying? People try to hop the gun. I've learned a lot when I've jumped ahead, and then God was like, look at you, dumb, ain't it? You not ready. and I fell on my butt every time. So I'm patient. I'm unconventional. I bootleg stuff. I do stuff differently because I know that that's what's going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? Look at me at 37 years old having a play date and having fun, doing stuff. I feel good about this. It feels right. Like, I was excited about this day. You know what I'm saying? And it's been like this for a few years, just creating things and like, yeah, do this. And now I got some plans to do it. What? It feels
yeah. Honestly, you are just so refreshing, and I was just like, I need to talk.
Yeah, because I think at some point we were in a plateau, to be honest, for a minute. Then we saw it, and it was like, oh yes, like this energy, like we appreciate it, like for real. I think it was like perfect timing. Everything is just like, I think I posted on like an Instagram story.
Joey's having a hard time because you want to say everything.
I do want to say everything. I do, but I'm just like, But no, but like, seriously though, like the momentum, it's like a train. We're hitting these spots. Yes, we're hitting these destinations. We're hitting these locations, the stops on this train. And as we do, we are picking up things, people, opportunities along this fucking train, and it's moving. The tracks. I'm
so glad she can tolerate us. I love it so much. Oh my goodness. You fit just right in. So thank you guys so much for meeting Miss Marvelstorm today. I hope you had fun. She will be here with us.
Yes.
Forever. For a long time.
Yes.
Forever and ever.
If you need to know anything else, we'll be back. You can ask away. So Miss Marvelstorm, how do you feel?
I feel loved, y'all. I feel like I have a little song for y'all. You like to hear it? Here it go. Thank you for being a friend. Do, 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 do.
on that note, thank you so much, guys, for coming in. We got, of course, Mz.Marvelstorm 110,
Thank you so much.
Possessed Bromisha, Kaloli Deloli, Rio, and sometimes AFK Exo.
Flip that into her DMs.
All right, guys, love you. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye, guys.
See you next time.